Hey y'all, hey. What's going on? Let me add my chocolate self to the stream here. I hope everybody's week was good. There I go. Let's see if we can clean this camera off a little bit. There we go. How is everyone? How y'all doing? It is Friday night to live, you guys. Hey, Miss Miller. Started a little late, y'all. And I won't be on that long tonight. We're gonna do a project. Y'all know Minnie's birthday party is coming up next week, and I am still making stuff for this child, y'all. Still got Amazon orders and stuff coming in. So hopefully by the end of this weekend, I'll be done with Minnie's party, and all that will be left is for me to set up. How is everyone? Hey, Miss Sandra. Hey, Miss Miller. Miss Vicky. Miss Constance. Miss Pat. Hey, Lauren. How you doing, my love? So we are going to be doing some sublimation flags. Hey, Miss Ebony. For Minnie. In Affinity Designer. So I'm going to try my hand in Affinity Designer tonight. If you watch me, you know I love Silhouette Studio for designing. However, I cannot get it to work on my brand new computer. No matter what I do, no matter what I've tried, it just will not work. So I was already teaching myself Affinity Designer. So I'm continuing to do that along with Photoshop. So we're going to make something like super simple inside of Affinity Designer. Hopefully you guys can pick up and learn a little something about the program. Now, Affinity Designer is a paid program, but it's a one-time fee that you pay for the program, and they always have it on sale. I think the regular price might be close to $50, but I got mine for $24 when it went on sale. So they always have a sale. And they have like Affinity Designer. They have Affinity Photo. The Affinity Designer version that I have, it's like Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator in one. Hey, Miss McLean. Hey, Miss Gibson. Hey, Miss Wallace. Miss Smith. It's like Photoshop and Adobe Design all in one. So it has some Photoshop features. It has some Illustrator features. You have different, basically creating areas that you can. Girl, next time it's little, don't purchase the software again, my love. You do not have to do that with Silhouette Studio. All you have to do is deactivate your key. So if you ever need, if you have the paid version of Silhouette Studio and you need it, like with my new computer, say I wanted to take away my business edition from it to add it to this computer, all I would have to do is deactivate the key. And then when I upload the Silhouette to the new computer and I go to upgrade it, I would just be reactivating the key. So don't repurchase. And even if your computer goes completely dead or goes bonkers and you can't get back in there to deactivate your key, you can go to silhouetteamerica.com. You can click on their chat during their business hours and you can let them know what happened. If, you know, the computer broke down and shut down, and I'm not able to get in there to my key, they will send you brand new keys, honey. So never rebuy. Silhouette is very, very good with customer service. They just got this issue with Windows, honey. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's this version of my computer, the version of Windows. I don't know. I'll use me for Affinity Designer. Okay. I don't know too much about Affinity Designer, how you can get it back on there if you have already purchased it, or if you purchase to only have it on one device. Yeah, Miss Sandra, you mean for Silhouette Studio or Affinity Designer? Hey, Miss Nicole. Yeah, so that's what we're doing tonight, y'all. We're gonna go into Affinity Designer. and we're going to create some sublimation flags. They're going to be really simple. We are having a water fight for Minnie's birthday party, and so the objective is going to be for one team to collect the other team's flag. So I have to make flags for people to be able to take. Okay, Miss Nicole said you can download it again. There's no limit for Affinity. Okay, Miss Sandra, for Silhouette, if you sign up for the Silhouette, make an account with which you have to make an account on silhouetteamerica.com. You can go and find your keys there as well. So your key is actually in that Silhouette account that you make online. Hello, 755 Media. How are you? All right, y'all. Before we get into the craft that we're going to do tonight, I want to do a quick roll call. If this is your first time watching me, I am Gucci Crabs, and I'm from California, the Bay Area. Yes. So I want to see where you guys are watching from. Rep your city and state, please, in the comments. I know it's a little dark in here, y'all. We're in my office because we're going to do our printing in here, and then we'll move to the kitchen. Hopefully it's a little bit more light in the kitchen. Please make sure that you share this live. Share. Sharing is caring, y'all. All right, Louisiana's in the house. Hey, Miss Annie. Miss Murphy, Atlanta's in the house. Hello, Miss Ruth. We are repping our cities and state right now. Let us know where you are watching from. Florida's in the house. I love to see where you guys are all tuning in from. Virginia's in this thing. South Carolina, I see you. Maryland, hey, Miss Princess, honey. Selma, Alabama, Miss Ruth. New Jersey's in this thing, I see you. New York, what part of New York, Miss Melissa? Camden, New Jersey in the house. Yes, my love. I'm trying to get on here and share for y'all too. Get y'all some shares in that thing. Riverdale, Georgia. Welcome. Drop a heart if this is your first time watching. I want to see hearts drop if this is your first time watching. Jonesboro, Arkansas, by way of Detroit, Michigan. All right now. KY, Kentucky. I think I got that right. Let's see. I'm going in here. And I'm going to drop a few. Share a few times for you guys. Let's do that one. All right, I got it right. Okay, I paid attention in school, honey. I got that abbreviation right. Welcome, Miss Crystal. All my first timers, let me see you drop a heart. If you share publicly, you guys, you do get a shares badge. All right, Camden, New Jersey, PA. All right, PA's in the house. What's popping? I'm just dropping a couple of shares here for you guys. Just a couple of two little shares here and there. It won't get. I'm looking for a particular group here to drop this in real quick, real fast. Myself, I promise you, like it's like when I'm live, even though I'm not live on the phone, it doesn't want to show me everything all the time. All right, I'm gonna drop one more share for y'all, and then we gonna get into this craft. No, Affinity is not a part of Silhouette. Affinity is what we're going to be using tonight to design. North Carolina's in the house. Hey, NC. So we're going to be using Affinity Designer tonight. This is the first time I think that I've used Affinity Designer on a live. I am teaching myself Affinity Designer. So I know about it, but I don't know enough to do a class on it yet, y'all. Okay. So we can go in here and just learn a couple of few little things. In here, I'm making something that's very, very simple inside of Affinity Designer. I do prefer to design with Silhouette, but Silhouette don't like this computer. So I will drop a link for you for Affinity Designer when we are done. I'll drop the link so you guys know where you can go and purchase it from. Okay. So let me share my screen. And we're going to share the entirety of the screen. And we'll make it like this. You welcome, Miss Kimberly. Just waiting for it to load up, you guys. And let me pull you guys up on Facebook so I can see your beautiful faces. When I go to share my screen, I can't see the comment. So if you're watching from YouTube, I won't be able to see your comment until I stop my screen share. But if you comment on Facebook, I will be able to see it. My YouTubers, I will come back through all the comments when I'm done with my screen share to make sure I don't miss any of your questions or comments. I promise. All right, let me just make sure I got you guys going so that I can see, to make sure I don't miss any of your questions. Okay. I won't be doing an airbrush design today, but Miss Barbara, I can in the future. All right, so I have Affinity Designer open here, okay? And so I'm going to go to New Document. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to pick the size page that I want. I want it to be 19 by 13. And I want my DPI, dots per inch, to be at 300. Okay, at least 300. At least 300. And that is basically how many dots per inch are going to print. Right. And so the more dots you have, the better the resolution will be. That is the like bare minimum for printing or with your dots per minute is 300. Sometimes when you freshly open up this program, you'll see that the DPI will be at 72. That is for when you're making things that are going to be digital. So if you're making a digital flyer to put on your Facebook or post on your Instagram or a digital birthday invite, wedding invitation, anything like that, that's going to be digital, 72 DPI is just fine because it does not have to be printed. Okay. But if you want to print, at least have 300 dots per inch. Okay. DPI. All right. So it already has my orientation right here. I'm going to want it to be landscape. I'm going to go ahead and say create. All right. So it's giving me my page that is 13 by 19. Similar to Photoshop, you do have a layers panel over here on the side. You have your effects, you have styles, which are like presets, or you can create your own presets. I played around and created a couple of my own little presets down there. Then you have your textile panel, and then stock is where you can go and find stock photos. Okay, so we're just going to be focusing on our layers. Also over here, you have your personas, right? So this is the designer persona. This is where you are going to make your vectors. Like if you want to make SVGs and different things like that. The pixel persona is a little different. It's like having Adobe Illustrator. So you can switch back and forth between the different personas. If you notice here, when I'm in the designer persona, these are my toolbars, but once I switch to the pixel persona, my tools change, right? It gives me a different set of tools, okay? And like I said, I can switch back and forth between the two personas if I want while I'm designing. And then this one is the export persona, okay? So we're going to go back over here. I'm going to be in the designer persona tonight. And again, we're going to be making something very, very simple. I'm going to be doing sublimation flags for Minnie's birthday party. You will learn a little bit about how to maneuver through the program, but not very much because this is going to be super, super simple. Okay. So let us get started. So again, I want to create flags. I'm going to be using some felt that I got from the Dollar Tree to go ahead and make these flags because the felt is polyester. It's 100% polyester and it will sublimate. Okay. And I got it from the Dollar Tree. They have like little swatches of it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to grab my rectangle tool. And once I click on it, it's going to allow me to draw out the rectangle. Okay, so I have my rectangle. I'm going to go back here to the move tool so I don't draw another rectangle. And I'm going to come down here to transform, and I can take this and move it wherever I want it to be. So I can even move it to this layer here, or I can take it and move it back down here. But I'm going to move my transform panel up so I don't have to be all the way down there. And here I can decide what I want my height and width to be. Okay, so here I'm going to go with my height as 12. Now I'm going to make sure I kind of get that in the middle because I am going to be printing on a 13 by 19 piece of paper, but I want to stay within the print parameters or whatever. And then for my width, I don't want to quite be 17. I think I'm going to do that at 15 because I do still want to keep that rectangle shape. I don't want it to be a perfect square because it's going to be a flag. Okay. So this is basically just my outline here of how I want the flag to be, the size. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, because we're going to do 4 different flags. All right. So it's going to be 4 different flag colors. So we're going to have a red team, a blue team, a green team, and a yellow team. Right. So first, let's make the first flag. I'm going to go here to file and I'm going to go to place. I'm going to bring in a couple of two little images. Right. This is going to be my first one. Now I'm going to click, I'm going to place it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make this the same size as my box, which is 15 by 12. All right. Uh-oh, did my mouse die? Come on, mouse. Okay, there it goes. All right, so now I have that over the underlying box. I'm going to go ahead and bring in another object, which is going to be this one. I'm going to bring in the Cam Style logo and those V-Bucks. So you see how I was able to bring in 2 images at a time. I'm going to click to place those. And I'm going to click on that one. And I'm going to place this one. Move this over to the side for a second. I'm going to come here to my layers panel. And because I want to stretch these out, but I want them to stay within the square itself, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something that you call nesting, right? So I'm going to nest these inside of the galaxy layer. Now I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. I'm just kind of sizing it the way that I want it. Okay, so what I'm going to do over here on my layers panel is I'm going to take this picture of the V-Bucks and I am going to drop it right onto the Fortnite. You see the difference? Do you see now? No matter how big I stretch this, it's not going outside of that box. That is called nesting. And I really like that feature because it'll make the design look seamless. Okay, that is called nesting. So I can nest those right inside. They're not going to go outside of my actual area. They're going to stay right there inside. Right? Now I'm going to go ahead and place Kim's logo picture here. Let me move this thing from my share. I think I want to move these over. Oh, not that one. Now, the thing I like about Affinity Designer outside of Photoshop is that even though you have layers, you can still just click and you're actually going to be able to touch what it is that you're designing. I love that about it. Right now we're going to come and we're going to place some lightning in that G thing. And I'm going to want my lightning to be behind all of this. Not in there. Take it out. I don't want you nested. Just want you right on top. Okay. It's still nested inside of there. I don't want you nested. Now I done nested it all. Hold on. I want it to be by itself, not nested. Yes, nest that back. Now give me my dang on lightning back. What I'm trying to do is put my lightning behind. There we go. So I want my lightning to be behind it all. All right, now we're going to go and place again. And we are using Affinity Designer to design this. I'm going to go get my people. I got my people with me. So we're going to drop them. And we'll go ahead and move this up a little bit. And I'm going to nest them inside as well, so that you see my sword won't be on the outside. And I can move her over a little bit like that if I wanted to. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this guy. I'm going to use my transparency tool. I actually want to go from the other side. Hold on. All right. So I have my transparency tool. So I've made that background a little transparent there. And now what I'm going to do is our rectangle here that is behind it. Let's find us a good orange in our color wheel. I'm going to take my lightning. Not that one. I want my lightning, please. And these as well. And move it over. And I might actually end up duplicating this one. So I'm going to duplicate it. So then I have the V-Bucks in certain areas. So this looks like V-Bucks is everywhere. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and add in some text. And we're going to center that. Come on. Center, please. Thank you. And I actually may make it go the long way. Yeah, I think that's what I want to do. I want it to be like that there. So let's redo this. Highlight it. Let's make it bigger. Let's go back here to our select tool. And we're going to change this font to the Fortnite font, which is the Burbank Condensed. And we'll do another text box. And let's make that a little bit smaller, then I'll stretch it. That's our Burbank. And then what I'm going to do under appearance, I'm going to add a stroke, which is basically an offset. So I'm going to click on the point there. I'm going to make it a little bit. And right now my stroke color is black. And I want to change that stroke color to white. All right, so I'll drag it all the way down to white. Then come back in and look at my point. All right, so 3.1 for that one. Now I'm going to do the same thing for the stroke here. Just going to type in 3.1. And we're going to change that stroke color. Drag our little circle here to white. Should give it to us now. Why, my friend, are you not giving me? Oh, there we go. Wasn't highlighted. So there's our team orange. This is going to be our team orange flag. I'm going to go ahead and move this back into place. There we have like that gradient going into team orange, right? And again, we're going to do this for 3 other colors, but this is the first one. Thank you so much, Miss Nicole, for the stars. So this will be our flag. Hold on, I got to make this. Gonna pull that down there like that there. There we go. So far we have used our gradient tool. We've used Place It to place our design. And I'm thinking, I don't know, I might add a little something for pizzazz over there. Let me see something here, what I have. Oh, it did this to me earlier when I was testing the stream. I don't know why it does this. It took away, like it doesn't let me see what I have downloaded. It's the weirdest thing. That's so weird. All right, well, I guess we won't because it's not showing them to me now. All right, so this is the flag. What we're going to do is we're going to go to print. Oh, hold on. That is showing me that one of these is not the height it needs to be. Come down just a little bit on it. We'll go to print. And I wanted to print from my 7720. Gonna go to properties. Oh, I forgot I didn't add, I don't have, dang it to heck, Betsy. I don't have my printer driver installed on this computer, but we're going to see how it prints out as photo paper. I hate that. And let me see. Because I also need this to be mirrored. And we have to change our paper size. It may not let me do it. All right, we will have to download the printer driver. Well, at least y'all get to learn how to download a printer driver. So let's go right here real quick. Ah, 7710 is actually what I need. No, it's a 7720. I'm lying. Okay. So we're going to go and we're going to get the driver. This is what is going to allow us to actually use the printer's print settings. Okay. So I'm going to download without having the driver set. You can't use the printer settings. So yes. Once we do that, we'll be able to use the settings from my 7720. And we don't want to automatically update. I don't want it to be. But I agree. Sorry, y'all. I thought I had my driver set up on this computer, but I don't. But now I will. I think it's only set for the 7210. But while that's happening, I'll get my paper together. And I have two of them. This is the one I want, I think. Okay. That was quick. We got that printer driver installed. So now we'll be able to go and use our actual printer settings, which is important depending on the kind of paper that you are using. So we're going to go back to Affinity Designer here. I'm going to close this out just in case. Now I'm going to go back down to print. And we'll have it custom. We'll go to properties. There's my driver. Yes, Lord. Now I can decide how I'm going to print. We want this to be our Super B 13 by 19. We do want it to print landscape. I'm going to be printing on premium presentation paper matte because I'm using ASAP paper. I'm going to come over here, go to custom. Just going to do ICM colors and mirror my image. Okay. Now that I have that, like all of that stuff set, I'm going to just add, and I'm going to call this sub, right? So those settings will now be saved and it'll pop up here. So when I go here, if I go back to main and see I click on labels, it'll give me that setting for labels. If I click on sub, it's going to give me all those settings that I just had, so I don't have to worry about doing it twice. Okay. Make sure double check that our image is mirrored. We're all good to go. And now we are going to set it. Okay. And it's going to get ready to print our item. It'll send it over. I hope I send it over to the right one because one of them is out of ink. And then we are going to just go through and make the others. Let me get this printer set up to print 13 by 19. Let's see what's going on. Why it ain't printing? Attention required. What's the attention? Oh, it's trying to print to the 7210. That's not what we want. That's because that's what my silly self picked, huh? No, thank you. And this one. I'm so used to being on my other computer, you guys. This one has not yet stuck on me. Okay, landscape. Okay, so it wants to be funny style. It's telling me my ink cartridges are not recognized, but they are. So let's do this real quick on this printer, this computer. Ridiculous. We're going to let it add the other one while we change this, okay? So we're going to go here to this rectangle. We're going to change it now to red. No, not my stroke. I don't want a stroke. I want my fill to be red. Thank you. So we're going to get like a good color red. Right? That looks good. We can just keep that R. So let's come back up. And we'll keep that E there at the bottom too. There we go. And you notice how it keeps my stroke and everything. Love it. Don't have to reset my stroke. And that's how simple it is to change out to the next color. Okay. So if we have team orange, we'll have team orange, we'll have team blue, and we'll have team red and team yellow. And we're just going to do the same exact thing. We already have our base set the way we want, and we already have the transparency going on there. So we just go over here. We have team already there. Every time we want to change the color, we'll just change it like that. Okay. So let's see if this is ready to add. Nope, that is the one that is already there. So I see what it's going to make me do is add the actual plug into this one. And then we'll be good to go. It doesn't want to recognize the second 7720. It only wants to recognize the first one, but that's fine because we got a cord. Let me just get the cord in there. We'll print, and then we're going to take it to the heat press, and we're going to press our first flag. And I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to make it look like a flag. We're going to cut it out of the felt and hot glue it to a stick that I'm going to stick down in the ground. And that's what the teams will have to try to take from each other. All right, so we got that cord in there. We're going to make you do what we need you to do. I haven't named this computer yet, so y'all got to help me come up with a name for this computer. The last one was Sasha Fierce, and the one before that was Beyonce. I'm about to name her Headache in a minute because that's what she's giving me. Now let's go back. And it'll be that one. And I'm going to come in here and set up all my settings for this a little later, so I don't have to do this each and every time. Let me just add it now. Sub land. So this will be sub in landscape, since the setting is there in landscape. Queen B. Queen B, I like it. All right, Big Bruce is getting ready to print our first little flag here. And then we're going to take it to the heat press. It's not out of paper. There it is right there. All right. And we printing now. Yes. Queen Bee. I like it. So that's the computer's new name, Queen Bee. We're just printing a red flag now. So I'll just do one with you guys on live. I have some centerpieces that I need to make also, but I haven't decided what I'm going to put on them yet. So I may do a video during the week of me doing those centerpieces because her party is next Saturday. So I'm just trying to do things a little bit at a time so I don't overwhelm myself, but I also don't want to be up all night Friday night trying to fix this for Miss Minnie. Okay, y'all? So I'm going to stop my share. I'll come back over. Hey, Miss Joanna. I think somebody may have dropped the link for Affinity. Let me just double check right now for y'all. That is what I was just designing in right now, is Affinity Designer. And that is it. I'm going to drop the link for you guys. Somebody did already drop it in the comments. Here it is again for those of you that are on YouTube. So it's going to post on Facebook and YouTube. That is the link where you can go and purchase the Affinity Designer. They always have it on sale. So if it's not on sale when you go on the site, just wait till it's on sale. And start watching your YouTube videos so you can get it down. This is going to be a nice big old flag. And we're going to do this using oh, my black is running out. Didn't even tell me my black was low. Now I wants to print something else completely. All right, so my black is running out a little bit, y'all. Not a little bit, it's running out. But we still gonna press this one. Just so y'all can see the finished product. I'm gonna go ahead and just cut it to size, and then we're gonna go and we'll press it. I'll end up redoing it because I want it to look like all the other ones, but we'll consider this a test run, especially because our felt came from the Dollar Tree. Good item to practice on with sublimation. Also have a couple of sublimation, not sublimation towels, but I can sublimate on them. They're from the Dollar Tree, and they're actually like the microfiber car wash tiles. So I'm going to take a couple of those, and I'm going to put her birthday logo on it. I know, we just had our online birthday party. It seems like not too long ago. I'm trying to make this birthday really spectacular for her because last year her online birthday party was the last time that she actually seen my dad before he passed. He passed just like a week after her last birthday. So I want to kind of take her mind off of it a little bit and just give her like a really good celebration. I think that's why I'm so compelled to like do hella extra for her this year. All right, so we on a mission. We gonna travel, y'all. We gonna take our little messed up print and travel. I'm hecka mad Bruce didn't tell me he was running out of ink. How dare he? We going through my dark living room. All right, so I'm gonna see if we have much more light in here. Not too much more, but let's set this up so you guys will be able to see. Okay, so heat press. All right, so this is the felt that we're going to be using from the Dollar Tree. It's 48 inches long and 11.75 wide. It's very thin, so I would definitely like, I'm using it for like the flags because, I mean, what we going to do with them afterwards, right? Minnie will probably keep them and hang them up in her room. But I'm going to just go ahead and cut this in half. I'm going to be hot gluing to these skewers. These also came from the Dollar Tree, bamboo skewers. So what I plan to do is take the skewers, and I may double them. That's what I think I'm gonna do, and stick them down in the grass at the park so that the flag will be, I don't have to have anything to put the flag in. So I think I'm gonna double up on these. We're gonna double up. We got our heat press going over there. And one thing I forgot to do is plug up this hot glue gun. So I'll do that real quick, real fast. I'm gonna lay some paper down definitely for this felt because it is very thin. And for my paper, I'm using sandwich paper or sandwich wrap. Where's the heat gun, y'all? Oh, it's in the office. All right, let me go grab the heat gun. And I keep saying heat gun, but it's our hot glue gun. So we're gonna hot glue the felt to the wooden skewers. And I'm gonna be using Gorilla hot glue. And let me see if I can plug it up over here. I'm just gonna sit right there. All right, we're gonna lay our flag out. And I'm just gonna give the flag a once over, and I hope y'all can see. And what I'm doing is I'm just removing like excess lint, because if you don't, you get a lot of little nasty blue spots. Little lint spots on there. Now we're gonna take our print and we gave ourselves some bleed room. And I'm giving myself some room on the other end of the flag. And I made this 12, that's fine. It cuts off the feet a little bit. So I'll know when I make the real one. And those skewers come 12 in a pack for $1. So 400 degrees, 60 seconds. And you get 12 of these. These are good too for s'mores and stuff like that. And so we're gonna hot glue 2 of these together. I think just to give it a little bit more stability. And this Gorilla Glue, hot glue, don't put it in your hair. I like it because it does give you like an extra 45 seconds to work with it, and it is super, super strong. They was not playing when they made this. So I'm not being neat about it or anything. I'm just putting the glue there because the flag is gonna go over it. And we are done. All right. That felt subs so beautifully. If our black wasn't messed up, we'd be good. But remember, y'all said it is very, very thin. Okay, like you could almost see through this. So we're just gonna trim. And I'm just trimming off this white edge here on the other end of the flag. And this is good for like baby showers too. Like if you want to do like your yard signs and stuff like that in the yard, be a little bit neater. This is a practice one, but I still want to be neater. With my cut. And this part here, I left it white so that this is what will fold over on the sticks. Okay. So we're going to take this. And if I have a little too much of it, I will go ahead and trim. But I think it'll be okay. And I'm just going to fold till I don't really see the white. And then the flag will be like that. So let's lay this down real quick, real fast. And I'm just going to be hot gluing it to itself, basically. If I got enough glue in here to do so. Oh, that glue is hot, y'all. Burnt the heck out of my finger right now. Hot, hot, hot. You can also use gem tack to glue it. The hot glue is just a little bit quicker. Don't burn yourself like I did. This mess is super thin. And I didn't get it tight enough. Hold on, let me fix it. I still got a little bit of time to work with it. Gorilla Glue gives you like 45 seconds until it is completely set. So you have more time to actually maneuver this glue. And having it under my heat press is also helping to keep it in its liquefied state. I definitely need to be tighter with it, but I just want to show y'all. So this will be the flag. And they will have to grab the team's flag. This, of course, I will make this tighter, but y'all get the concept. This one is a mess up one because the printer's out of black ink. But very simple. This all together, if you count the piece of sublimation paper, the sticks, and the felt, probably cost about $1.50 to make. $1.50 to make this. So cute. Again, we designed this in Affinity Designer. The lives always stay up so you guys can take a look. And if you're watching it, remember, the printer ran out of black ink. That's why the team red looked like that. That's why it came out the way that we did not design it. Didn't tell me that it was running out of black ink. So I have to go in there and probably reset that ink because it looks like it is completely out of black ink. But it did a really good print considering that it didn't have any black ink in there. Yes, and so again, there'll be 4 teams. These are going to stick in the grass. And I'll probably glue the stick maybe all the way down so that it stays, or just make this part here tighter around it so that the sticks will stay a little bit better. And I'll probably end up gluing the sticks to the felt and then gluing the felt to itself to hold these tighter as well. But I like it. I like how it came out. And then the kids can pick one that they want to take home with them. And then the towels that I got from the Dollar Tree are these. They're the microfiber cloth. These are 100% polyester. So what I'm going to do with these for people, I've asked people to bring their own towels to the water fight, but you know, it's going to be some adult or some kid that gets wet or ends up getting something wet. And so I don't got to use my good bath towels, okay? I'm going to make maybe about 10 of these that have her birthday logo on it, the Battle Royale cam style. And then I'm going to have these for people to be able to dry off with, and then they could just take the towel with them when they leave. But these are really good towels for water absorption because they're meant for your car. So at the Dollar Tree, you will find these in the car section. And they're 16 by 24. So it's a pretty good size towel. That's it. Super soft microfiber cloth. 16 by 24, driver's choice. You're going to find this in the car aisle. So where they have like the oil and brake fluid and all that stuff, and the tools and stuff like that is right by the car aisle. So that's where you'll find these. And I think those are going to come out pretty cute too. I would print these out for you guys, but I don't have the black ink. So I got to go in there and fill the black ink. And the other printer is out of ink too. It's out of blue ink. And I haven't filled that one. So I got to fill my ink. These are little buckets I got from Dollar Tree to do the centerpieces for her. So I'm going to take this rope off and I'm going to replace the rope with the blue diamond wrap around the top. And I'm going to be using these metal skewers in the top of them to put whatever it is on here. I don't know if I'm going to do her little logo and maybe some people from, you know, the little dance moves on Fortnite. But I have to figure it out because I have to figure out what I'm going to use to cover up my steak and the foam. So these little floral foams fit perfectly down in these little buckets. These little galvanized buckets can also be painted. So it's really good to grab them. Luckily, they're not a seasonal item. You can always find them in the floral department as well as the foam. And these little round foams fit right down in there. Right? And you can put like rocks or something like that, which I'm going to do. I'm going to get some rocks from the yard. And I'm going to put the rocks from the yard down in the bucket first. And then I'm going to stick the foam piece down in there. And I'm only going to do one foam piece per bucket. And the rocks will, because these are very, very light. So the rocks are going to stabilize it so nobody accidentally knocks it over or it doesn't fall over when the kids are running past the table or something like that. Let me see. Thank you, Miss Murray. I want to make sure I didn't miss any comments while I was in Affinity Designer. I did drop the link for you guys there to go and purchase Affinity Designer. And it's directly from their website. It's not anything for me. I'm not an affiliate with them or anything like that. But the program is really nice. I like that nesting feature. It's almost like having Photoshop, except the thing that drives me absolutely crazy with Photoshop is the fact that you have to keep clicking on your layers when you want to edit something. That drives me crazy because I'm so used to just being able to click on the picture and move it and do what I want to do with it. And I like that in Affinity Designer you can. And then you also have that other persona, the pixel persona. In that, you guys, you can go and you can edit down to the pixel. Like you could change the color per pixel if you wanted to. Now, that's a lot of dang on work because the pixel is about this big, but you actually have the ability to be able to go in there and do that. I like that transparency tool that I showed you guys how to use tonight. It's really fun. You have your shapes in there. A lot of the things that you can do in Photoshop, you can do in Affinity. And then it has some things that Photoshop does that it doesn't, and vice versa. So Photoshop is not the end all be all. It is a great program. However, it gets on my dang on nerves. I just want to be able to click on the image and still be able to do what I have to do. I think they should make it like Affinity, where you do have the layers and you do have all those other things that you could do, but you can just click on the picture and be able to move it. I like that part about Affinity Design. Anybody have any questions for me? I told y'all I wasn't going to be on here long tonight because I have an early class to teach. And I have to teach a class at 6 o'clock in the morning, y'all. 6 in the morning. Very, 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 very early. Yes, what I did can be done in Silhouette, the business edition, you can use the transparency tool in Silhouette to, and I will show you, but Silhouette Studio doesn't work on this new laptop. But you can use it like how I did here to fade it out. You can use the transparency tool. But the only thing about that, honestly, is that you can't fade a particular section of it unless you bring in something that you crop to it that's already faded. So the fade that I did, you can't do with the tools in Silhouette Studio, but it's doable. You just have to work with it. And Affinity, I'm going to tell you, Miss Kimberly, if you go in there and you just play around with it, play around with the buttons. Don't be afraid, because at one point you didn't know Silhouette Studio, right? You have to learn it, right? If you go in there and you just play around with the buttons, I'm self-taught. Like, I'm teaching myself how to work it. Don't be afraid to mess up. Well, Miss Nicole, when I get a little bit more versed on the program, I will have a class on it. Y'all know I don't like to do a class on anything until I fully learn it, because if you have a question, I want to be able to answer it. Right? So thank you, Miss Kimberly, and I really mean it. If you go in there, and the same thing for you, Miss Nicole, and anybody else that's watching, if you have the Affinity Designer program and you haven't opened it up, go in there, open it up, play around with it, click the button. See, you can't mess up nothing. You're not gonna mess up the program. Go in there, click the buttons. You can watch a couple of YouTube videos. Also, on the Affinity Designer website, they have a couple of tutorials that you can go on and watch, even if you just watch what the buttons are or what they do. So, for example, let me share my screen real quick. And let's say share audio. We're going to share the whole thing here, darlings. So, for example, you go in here and you just hover, and it tells you what this does. That's the artboard tool, the nod tool, right? This is like point editing, which you can do in Silhouette. This is our corner tool, the contour tool. And the contour tool, to me, it's just like the stroke, which is basically your offset. I love that they have a whole section for the offset itself. Then your pen tool, you can draw, your pencil tool, your vector brush, your fill tool, which will give you basically the fill, your transparency. This is the place image tool. So I made a habit of going here and just going to place, but you can go here and just click on that and you can place the image. That's going to be your vector crop. Then you have your triangle, your ellipse, your rounded rectangle, which is good for rolling trays. And here, if you open this up, you have all these other shapes that are there for you to be able to use. And these are very common shapes that you'll use. This double star is going to be like a sun. You got the donut tool, the crescent, that's like a little moon, a little cloud. So it gives you a lot of tools. And you have your text. Then this one is, I think this is a Doppler tool, color picker. So you can pick the color. This is view, the view tool. You can move it around like pan. And then this is zoom. So you're just going through and clicking. And if you notice, every time you click on something, sometimes at the top, your context toolbar will change depending on what it is you're clicking on. So you see, I clicked on that pen tool and I got all of this stuff here, right? So as you go through and you click, if this changes, go up here and play with it and see what it does. Even if you just add a simple shape to the board and you go and you see what it does. What am I going to be able to do with that tool? And just go and go and go. And then, that's how you're going to make mistakes, which is good. It's good to make mistakes because you can learn from those mistakes and you know what not to do next time. So get in there and play with it, girl. You didn't pay for it to not play with it. And this, what I did was super, super simple. I brought in a couple of pictures, and for this effect, I use one tool, right? I use one tool to make this transparent, make it all fade in with each other. Looks like it came like that. All right. Any other questions, you guys, before I eat me some dinner and get ready for bed, my loves? I hope you guys learned a little something in Affinity Designer. I will be doing more. You played with it. Keep trying, Miss Nicole. What is crafting, y'all? I say it all the time. The 3 P's: practice, patience, and passion. Keep playing around with it. Don't give up. At one point, you didn't know how to use Design Space. At one point, you didn't know how to use Silhouette Studio. You had to learn it, right? And anything that you're going to be good at, you have to practice. Practice, practice, practice. And it really is. Once you learn what the buttons do, it really is really simple, you guys. When I first started doing Silhouette, I was like, whew, Lord, this ain't nothing like Design Space. Design Space makes you lazy. Design Space does everything for you. But the more advanced you get with the designer program, the less it actually does for you, because it's giving you the freedom to go in and maneuver things and to make things, right? So when we go to Photoshop and we go to Affinity and Silhouette Studio, beyond Design Space, if you're a Cricut user, and beyond Silhouette Studio, if you're a Cameo user, you see that there's more that you can do. Now, I'm going to tell you, Silhouette Studio does a lot. You can get in there and do a lot of design work, but as simple as it was for me to fade this out in Affinity Designer, it wouldn't have been as simple for me to do that within Silhouette. I would have had to do a little bit more maneuvering, right? And what I tell you, like, once you really get into designing, you start looking at everything. What the candy wrappers look like, what the design is like on the bottle, what kind of font are they using. Also, if you go on to like Etsy or something like that, or go onto the Affinity Designer website, sometimes they'll have like templates and things like that for sale. And a good way to learn is to deconstruct someone else's work, right? And what I mean by that is, when you go into the layers panel, you can click on each layer and see, you know, what it is, how it's adjusted. That's how I'm learning Photoshop as well. I buy really, really cheap Photoshop templates, like $2.99, $3.99, something like that. Like if it's a flyer template or something like that. And I go in and I deconstruct that template. So I go through the layers and I click on the thing to see, okay, where is this at within the layer? Where is that at within the layer? And deconstruction can actually help you figure out how to do it on your own. And it's the same thing with Affinity Designer. You can go through and deconstruct and figure out, okay, this is how this person did that. This is what I have to do to get this same effect, or to create this same effect. And it really does help. That's right, Miss Nicole. So I dropped the Affinity link for you guys in the comments. It's in the comments on YouTube and on Facebook. And there it is right there. I just put it up for you guys to see here on the bottom of the screen. Again, it is in the YouTube comments as well. All right. I enjoyed y'all this Friday night, my loves. Oh, my Tumblr people, for the buy-in for the tumblers, I am still waiting on the second box. Spoke with the vendor again today. And he states that the second box is here at port, but it has not cleared customs yet. And that is why I do not have it. So hopefully, I'm hoping that it will come in either over the weekend or early next week, so that I can start shipping those tumblers out to you guys. I don't want to ship out the product and I don't get it all, and then I have no grounds to say, hey, you need to give me back, you know, my money because you didn't send me all my tumblers, and then I don't have the proof that I still have the other ones left. Okay, so as soon as they come in, y'all, I will be getting them out. I already got a stack of boxes in the garage waiting for those to be placed inside of, so that I can get them shipped out to you guys. And mystery boxes, if you bought a mystery box, those went out already. So you should be getting those in the mail as well, filled to the brim with tons and tons and tons of stuff for you guys. Thank you so much, Miss Marie. All right, you guys, I love you, and I will see you guys next Friday. Also, next Friday, I'm going to announce a little something different that I'm going to be doing with the Friday Night Lives. I'm kind of going to try to make a schedule, so we'll have like, it'll already be on the schedule, and you'll know what will be coming up for the live. So I'm going to try that out. I try to keep the content like fresh. I try to stay on trend too. I'm doing this for Minnie's birthday, so that's why y'all stuck with these birthday party favorites and stuff. But it's summertime. The world is open back up. So people want to have parties. So last week we did some party favorites. Check that live out if you did not. Again, thank you so much for watching me tonight. Make sure that you follow Gucci Crafts on Facebook, Gucci Crafts on Instagram, Gucci Crafts on YouTube. And I will see you guys next Friday. All right. Love y'all.